history of coffee. How would the world get through their mornings without it? Some surveys suggest that the world drinks as many as 2.25 billion cups of coffee every day. In fact, as far as global commodities go, coffee is the second most valuable commodity in the world, behind oil. But how did coffee get to where it is today? Legend has it that coffee was originally discovered by an Ethiopian shepherd named Kaldi. He watched one of his goats eat a coffee berry and get a burst of energy, so he tried the same thing with the same effects. Kaldi shared his discovery with some local Islamic monks. They ate the berries and finally found the energy to stay up late through the night in prayer. Whether or not this legend is true, religion did have an integral part in the spread of coffee. Islamic monks most likely first roasted coffee somewhere in the Arabian peninsula. We get the word kahweh from Yemen. It ultimately spread to the Middle East and then to Europe and became the coffee we know today. Because of its Muslim origins, when coffee finally hit Europe in the late 1500s, it was banned as a satanic beverage. Pope Clement VIII gave coffee his papal blessing and supposedly said Satan's drink is so good it would be a pity to leave it just for the infidels. And so, coffee houses started to spring up all over Europe. One of the most famous of these coffee houses was Lloyd's Coffee House of London, on the Thames. This was the famous birthplace of Lloyd's, the company that would go on to insure the Titanic and the World Trade Center towers. And that brings us to America, where eventually, thanks to the Tea Act and the infamous Boston Tea Party, coffee began to make a claim within America. By the start of the Revolution, drinking coffee was practically a patriotic duty. And coffee has been associated with every war since. Some historians even argue that the Union might have lost the Civil War had it not been for coffee. By the late 1800s, national coffee manufacturers, like Folgers, were beginning to take shape within the United States, and America had developed its own coffee identity. In fact, the phrase cup of joe is associated with World War II and the domestic rationing of coffee. And Europeans even coined the phrase Americano, making fun of the way American soldiers liked their style of espresso. By the 1960s, specialty coffee shops started popping up all over the US, just maybe because all of those hippies needed a place to sober up. By 1971, Starbucks was founded, and today there seems to be one on every corner. So when you order your tall, skinny, pumpkin, vanilla, spice latte, just remember that it was a shepherd, some Islamic monks, a pope, and war that brought it to what it is today.